Hey folks, Pickleball Librarian here, and there's a monster in my court. Actually, that's a reference to a song by Fred Schneider of the B-52s, and it's a monster in my pants. Wow, totally risque, right? Anyway, all right, Babolat doesn't like vowels, and we've talked about this before, so this is the MNSTR paddle, the power paddle. So, does it have a lot of power? Yes. And let me tell you, my friend Jerry High, you know, he's a monster on the court, and he does like this paddle. I mean, he says that nice thing about this paddle, first of all, it has a lower center of gravity than a lot of paddles he uses, and he feels because of that it's easy for him to switch at the net between backhands and forehands. And he says the power from this paddle has been pretty good for his game. I mean, he gets a hard serve, and he gets a lot of short returns too with this. You know, instead of doing a lot of drops, he's able to get some third shot drives with this paddle. I mean, it is a monster, and it's very nice. And also, he feels that it also has a lot of control for all his shots, like his returns, volleys, third shots, dinks, and resets. So very solid paddle there. But you know what? I decided to get a second opinion. I asked my friend John Petty from Columbus, Georgia, and he, by the way, started out with Babolat using their Rebel. He actually went with the Touch, but I mean, I like the Rebel Power. So I was just asking him to compare the two. You know, he said he loved the Rebel Touch because it has a good combination of spin, touch, and power. But the first time with the Monster, when he tried this out, he didn't want to put it down. Oh, by the way, after Jerry High was playing with this for about 4 days, he decided to go right into tournaments with it, and he did 2 tournaments immediately, and I think he picked this up a couple months ago, and he's still playing with it. So both these guys, Jerry and John, like this paddle so much they switched to this. So let's just talk about this paddle. What's different, okay? So first of all, dimension-wise, they're pretty much the same dimensions, except this, ever so slightly, it's like actually like maybe 1.5 millimeters thicker. And what does that do? I noticed that it seems to have a larger sweet spot. I mean, you know, the Rebel does have pretty good sweet spot, but when you go to the Monster, I mean, it's more forgiving. When you're hitting off center, it has a little bang on it. And also, the cool thing about the Monster is I really feel the ball more. I mean, as the ball bounces off, as I'm dinking with it, I really feel solid. And I like this paddle because it's a good all-around paddle with a lot of control. I would say the Rebel itself has just a little less power, but you know, maybe a little more control, and also being lighter too. I mean, if I had to pick between these two paddles, I would get them both. I would use this for my outdoor paddle because of the power, and then this one I would probably go indoors because it feels a little lighter. And you know, let's just go over the price real quick. This retails for about $120, and the Monster retails for $140. And the circumference is about 4 inches on both paddles. You know, I would say this one just seems a little thicker. Maybe it's me. You know, I'm thinking that 1 millimeter probably is a little thicker here. The length of the grip is 5 inches. The paddle length is 16, and the width is 7.8 right here. And like I said, this is about a 15 millimeter width, and this is about, you know, maybe 13 or 14. So both paddles are pretty cool, and like I said, if I was playing outdoors, this would be the one I would prefer. I mean, you know, Jerry High and John Petty, both smart men, and I would join them in that class and be out there, you know, playing with this. Now, if I was indoors, I'd probably go with the Rebel Power myself. So both good paddles, and both are Pickleball Librarian approved.